RPM Trade Vietnam in this bitch. What's today? The 9th? Today is 11/9? Okay. Okay, let's see what the gematria play out today. It'll be something. There's always something. They like these numbers and shit. Ritualistic shit. Y'all think it's petty because y'all outside the loop, some people. Y'all think ain't no way in hell nobody's doing all of that. How could they ever get away with that? But you don't know how your own body works. You don't know how this fucking car works. You don't know how your cell phone works, and you accept all of that shit. You ain't got to understand that. You just go with it. Fuck out of here. Gematria is some real shit. Your English language is coded, and it's not my fault that it's true. But it is your fault if you don't know that. If somebody trying to tell you this shit, and you continue to deny, avoid, or downplay this idea that the English language was conceived in a code. Ain't nobody discovering this shit all after the fact. Nigga, it was conceived with this code in mind to code the English language with a numerical system, because they do believe that God created the earth with numbers and words, letters, numbers, and words. They have some Masonic temple or something somewhere, some government building or Masonic temple or both. They are conjoined. The two entities are conjoined. But on the building it says all is number. They don't just arbitrarily etch this into stone on these big ass fucking buildings for it to be. We just wrote that on there because it sounds good, because it sounds cool, because it sounds, spacey. You know what I'm saying? Spiritual. They don't arbitrarily do none of that shit, bro. And if you look at all the shit they do, and then you give them the respect that these establishments deserve by at the very least saying that the shit that they do is thorough and it has deep, specific intent to convey messages, to communicate, and to commemorate certain things. They're not arbitrarily doing none of this shit. So the English language is coded. 4 different ciphers real quick I can spit to you. A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, and you assign these number values to these letters so that words that you use these letters for to spell, the words carry the numerical value of every number, and then you add those together, then it equals a number. And when it equals these numbers, you will find these words to be related, or you will find that the people involved are using these words alongside their Gregorian calendar with events in their lives, their birthdays and their death days and shit. It all coincides for a ritualistic manipulation of reality so that they can play God on earth. That's what's happening. All the way up to the letter Z is 26 in this first cipher. That's real easy. A is 1, B is 2, C is 3. Boom. All the way up to the end. And then you can reverse that where Z is 1. All the way up to the letter A is 26. And then if you take both of those different directions and make 2 more ciphers by combining double-digit numbers when you assign these number values to the letters. For example, the number 11, whatever the 11th letter is in either direction, forwards or backwards, you combine the 1 and the 1 that makes the 11, combine it together to get the value of 2. Then you have to do that. One of these letters in both ciphers, you have to reduce it twice. And that's a special letter, and I think S in one direction is that letter. But all in all, like it might seem kind of fucking public high school. You have done more kind of shit than understanding gematria. So get with it and stop playing. At least go into it with an investigative mind for entertainment purposes only. Do that then. But do something. Check it out and see how it makes you feel, bro. Gematria is some real shit. But in this idea of life and death, love and death, let me tell y'all this, man. Love is supposed to bring you to a certain level of protection. Death is inevitable. That you want to protect and preserve innocent life, and you have to be willing to smoke shit. We're just gonna put it like that, because that's what it is. If you love so much your kids, the world, yourself, anybody at all, and you also say that you are not willing to physically hurt or maybe even completely eliminate a potential threat to you, yourself, other people that you love, or your kids, then you is halfway loving. I think. As soon as I very safely assume that a man loves his kids, I see that man in public with his kids, and I'd be like, boy, I don't care how docile you appear to be, how kind and sweet and courteous and with all this politeness all out in public, boy, you will probably shock yourself at how crazy you will go in defense of your kids. That's what I see when I see any man. And there is no group of men, no costume, uniform, or badge that would change that energy. What the fuck is supposed to change that natural energy where a man goes, yeah, I feel like that. But in these specific situations, I can divorce myself of those protective feelings of my kids, or I can look the other way and find some level of acceptance in protection of myself, other innocent people, or even my kids because of XYZ, because of an oath, a badge, and a uniform. I don't give a fuck. I've seen these videos where people are being abused. Sometimes underage people, it be happening by law enforcement. Sometimes it be grown ass people, and it doesn't matter. My kids is my kids, and I don't care how grown they get. Everybody, every parent knows that feeling. That just is what it is, bro. And I'm telling you, I don't give a fuck who thinks that it sounds threatening or combative or kind of strange or like somehow I fucked up. As soon as you understand the dynamics in the protection of yourself, other people that you love, especially your fucking kids, you cannot argue with me when I say this. You can only say, damn, it's a damn shame that society has brought ourselves, that we brought ourselves to this kind of a fucking quagmire, this kind of fucking conundrum. Okay? If a law enforcement officer is wrongfully abusing my kids, he better fucking duck for cover. The fuck is you talking about? No man is gonna jump in no costume, take no badge, and no bullshit punk shit, and say because I am wearing this, and because I went and talked to a few people and did a little bit of training, I can now supersede all of that natural energy behind your love and protection of your kids, and I can hurt your kids with the expectation that you're gonna stand back and let me do that. Boy, your ass gonna die. Get the fuck out of here. Now my kids in the wrong, my kids is wrong. Wrong is wrong. That's another thing. If you love your kids, then you got to know that wrong is wrong. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. If my kids did something horribly wrong, even though it would pain me to watch it, what I would want is for some justice to be had. Because if they wrong, man, and that's sad, man. And I'd be heartbroken the whole time, wishing that none of this was happening. But whatever the truth of that is just gonna be what the truth of it is. But what I do know for damn sure, that if my kid was being manhandled like the young man that got manhandled in a gym, this video was going around a few months ago, late summer I think, where the kid was being manhandled in a school by a law enforcement officer because the gym teacher wouldn't allow the kid to just skate by without dressing for gym. He didn't want to dress for gym, so shame on this gym teacher or the principal, whoever called the police. Well, they got the police involved because this kid didn't want to dress for gym class. But what else do you expect from this mini minimum security prison that they call the school system? What else did you fucking expect to happen, right? So he in the midst of this bullshit, in a damn near in a fight for his life. A cop would consider an attack on him like that a fight for his life. A cop would have shot the kid if the situation would have been reversed. But the cop is being super duper aggressive, manhandling this kid, man, all because he refused to get dressed for gym. That's that kind of shit that bugs me so much that not only would I be very upset at the police officer, let's say it like that, I would also be upset with whoever chose to get the police involved in the first place. And I do believe that everybody involved would forfeit all of their peace and safety, and they would have to yield to the natural reaction that I would have as that child's father to kind of act the way, however I wanted to act in regards to getting them to stop. Now, I might not be able to go attack them after the fact, but to catch them in the midst of doing this or to witness it with my own eyes, I would probably just jump in and act like that was my neighbor and not a cop. And I don't understand what about the nature of protecting your kids that everybody can understand that nature supersedes whatever game we've been able to manipulate society into. That's an after effect, which to which I give no fucks. And to expect me to is to deny your own natural understanding and to suspect that I will also do the same thing, but I will not though. And if that was my kid being manhandled by that cop and I was witnessing it happen in real time, I will beat that cop the fuck up and then take all of those fucking charges and I'll be smiling. You be like, who you thought? Oh, you thought that was gonna work? Here's a hard lesson in life that no one has to go for your shit, bro. You put your hands on my kids, you're gonna pay for that. And if it gets critical, then your ass will die for that. And I don't give a fuck who it is. My kid better be all the way in the wrong in order for you to get me to yield. Because as soon as I feel like you are doing way too much, especially if I feel like you're doing too much while hiding behind that badge because you know that that gives you protection that no other man could possibly expect. As a matter of fact, if another man was doing that to my son and then I jumped in to physically subdue that man and to keep him from further harming my child, a cop that was witnessing it would actually cheer for me to do that. But if it was him doing it, he would actually risk his life to expect that I would yield to him. Y'all dumb as fuck. That's stupid as fuck. I bet you I don't go. Man, let my son or my daughter ever call for my help while they on the side of the road being abused by a police officer because they get pulled over. Man, oh my God. Oh my God. You know what it is. You know what it's going to be. No one has to take that shit. I feel that shit so deeply in my heart that I think that it's strange that there's an expectation of that my reaction would feed into the idea that I'm very wrong to some people because I'm going to jump in and I'm going to overdo it. And if weapons are drawn, that shit would turn into the cop getting done to him what he would do to me if I was doing this to his child, his fucking partner in crime, literally, because they're all criminals. They're all constitutional felons, according to U.S. Title 18, Section 242. Anybody, cop, judge, or lawyer who enforces a law that should have never made it into law in the first place, while y'all trying to hide it behind the fact that it's a quote-unquote law, but it never should have made it there because it's in violation of the Constitution, yeah, your ass is supposed to go to jail for even enforcing the shit. And if you use those same things to actually physically violate people, ooh, those punishments go up and up and up, all the way to the point of a cop, judge, or lawyer being capable of putting himself in the line of fire or being sentenced to death for using something that shouldn't have been a law while hiding behind it, calling it the color of law, but it should have never made it there in the first place. And then you enforce it, and then leads to physical things and kidnapping and imprisonment and all it. Man, well, your ass supposed to die. And that ain't even something that I'm coming up with. Y'all wrote that shit. U.S. Title 18, Section 242. Now, somebody wrote that shit. Y'all are currently walking through your life pretending to honor all of the people who write the magical shit. But they wrote that magical shit, and I happen to agree. If you violate a motherfucker with a fake-ass law, with this fake-ass badge and that fake-ass uniform, you're supposed to get handled thoroughly, made an example in public in front of everybody so that they know that you need not take that same route, or you will or the same fate will fall at your fucking feet for you to embrace it all, every bit of it. You're supposed to be put to death if it goes that far. Fuck y'all. And your shit say that. Salute to whoever wrote that fucking shit. Now let's honor that shit. Make them live and die by everything that oath implies, and it needs to be swift, harsh punishment upon all of the people who violate anybody's shit. If you create a victim, I don't give a fuck who you are. It's supposed to be swift punishment upon you. Fuck you. And I don't care who you are. That goes for legal gun owners. That means you too. You violate some shit and you just stepped off into the realm of being in the wrong. You have created a victim when that need not even happen, and here you go making that shit happen. I hope your ass die, Mr. Legal Gun Owner. That goes for police officers and gangbangers. That goes for everybody. If you look like me at all, 2 eyes, a brain, 2 ears, a mouth, you were born on planet Earth, yeah, you're included. Your ass gonna die for violating natural law. You can't violate natural law by creating a victim of nobody for no reason. Complete voluntary relationships, nothing else makes any sense at all. If it's not completely voluntary, with full disclosure of what it is that you're trying to convince me of, then you are in violation, bro. And I don't care who you are. Y'all gonna have to face that shit. Not only do you need to face it on a logical sense so that your brain actually computes that shit and then maintains it. What up, yeah, right, the Matrix? Your brain needs to compute and accept the fact that anybody who creates a victim of anybody else is in the wrong. And all of this other shit that you try to divide out society to say, well, these guys are capable of doing it. How you do that? Y'all say humanity cannot govern itself, and then you pull from the same bag of nuts. Because you act like we are just all fucking nuts, right? Like, can't nobody fucking understand shit without y'all? You pull from the same bag of nuts, and then you go, you get to be a police officer, Mr. Cashew. You get to be a fucking judge, Mr. Pecan. And we're going to let you motherfuckers tell all the pistachios what the fuck to do. Like, we're not all nuts. Kiss my dick. I'm not fucking going. The fact that y'all have gotten people to go along with this, man, salute to y'all, man. Good job, man. I'm impressed. You're still wrong though. Give a fuck what you talking about. You're still wrong, and I can see you. And if I can see you, then I'm gonna call you out. And if I can call you out, then you got to answer to those questions. How did y'all do this magical shit? All this magical bullshit. I know how you do it. The gun gets the job done, motherfucker. That's how you do it. Extreme force and violence to bully people into the halfway understanding of what you mean, and then to get them past the fact that you're actually still dead fucking wrong. And I mean that shit dead fucking wrong in what it is that you're actually doing. And what pushes that shit the rest of the way is that people scared about what you're going to do because you have a monopoly on force and violence. Ha! Ain't nobody got to fall for that shit. I can see you, so that means fuck you. And you better leave me the fuck alone. Fuck out of my life, bitch. Punk ass, pussy ass. I love dissing y'all. I love dissing the fuck out of y'all because it's a stress release, man. To keep me calm and cool because I know that not only do my harsh words pierce the ears of people that can understand, I do believe that all of the logical, sensible things that I'm pointing out is more than enough to get through to y'all and to launch the most peaceful verbal revolution that the world could ever imagine if we all just stood up and go, y'all are in the motherfucking wrong, and y'all actually propelling your government illusion and bullshit into a potential nuclear conflict and potential invasion and fall of the new Rome, because we are the new Rome. They are brushing up against that, and I think that is kind of what they want, because to them, they are not all American. People say, why would American government do this to their own people? Because they're not American. They actually relinquish their citizenship when they take the oath of office. Nobody knows that. Furthermore, the fucking banksters run this fucking shit. Nobody else does. If you're not moving pieces on the chessboard in the upper echelons of industry and the financial economic industry, the military industrial complex, or the prison industrial complex. If you're not moving the pieces on the big board like that, you are not in charge of a goddamn thing. And the Federal Reserve laughs at the American people and go, man, y'all some bitches, bro. Y'all is being manipulated to play because you are run by whoever you own, whoever owns you. I don't give a fuck if you had that car for 3 years. If you're still making payments on it and you got one more year, I don't give a fuck what sex you had in that car, how many memories you have of road trips. I don't care if your kids' car seats and all your personal shit is in that fucking car and that's your car you had for 3 years. How is it not your car? I tell you how it's not your car, because you're still paying a car note. And if you're still paying a car note, the car belongs to the bank or whoever gave you the money. It's not yours. And that's the way this country fucking works, and you know that shit. It makes way too much sense, and you know that this country is in debt. Do I got to go any further to explain to y'all that this is not your country? I don't got to go no further. Now stop playing and realize that whoever is in control of your shit, the banksters, they believe that they run your shit. Now what is it that they're doing? I'll tell you what they're capable of doing is smashing America, because they're not American. They're all foreign banking agents. So stop the bullshit. Wake the fuck up. Don't be nobody's bitch. Because you would tell me to my face that you ain't nobody's bitch. Nobody would happily go, I'm somebody's bitch. I'm on planet Earth to be somebody's bitch. And whoever's got the upper hand on me in the economic system and the law society and all of the guns and the bombs and the war and all that shit, whoever is above me on that, then they rule me. Man, you just have to just trample over top of me. You have to just kill me, because I'm never going to admit or even pretend, even for a second, that it makes sense to say that somebody else owns me. Nobody else owns me, man. And if so, tell them to stand out in the open and grab the fucking microphone and get in the spotlight and tell the whole fucking world how they gain ownership over me as their fucking property. How it happened. They won't. The motherfuckers who feel like this will never stand in front of you and then say it, though, because they bitches. Every one of these banksters, I will beat their ass the fuck up in a one-on-one fucking bare knuckle UFC fight. I will beat every one of their asses straight the fuck up if they run the world. How that happen? I ain't nothing special, really. I'm not that big of a man. I'm fairly fucking average height and weight. I'm not a big dude, and I'm not no brawler like that. I don't have a whole lot of experience in fighting, but I know how to throw hands. But I'm not I'm not a UFC fighter. I will UFC beat the fuck up every one of these international bankers, every one of them, and somehow they've ruled the world, though. That goes to show you that shit is up here. It's got nothing to do with the gun, even. It's about outsmarting. And the only way you can outsmart or outfight someone who has outsmarted you is to completely surround them with your strength in numbers. And even then, at that point, you ain't got to fight them. You ain't got to bust a shot or take a swing at nobody. Just go, don't you see us watching you? Don't you see us looking at you? I'm looking right at you. Now, before we get messy out this bitch, you better back the fuck up. Lay all of your shit the fuck down before we get mad out here, and you're gonna answer some fucking questions. Until we are satisfied, nobody fucking moves. And if you want to fight, then say so. We didn't come here to fight. We come here to make you admit that you have been exposed and that the jig is up, and then we're gonna turn our backs. And if you put your fucking hands on me, we're gonna send sparks through this bitch. Now what the fuck is up, you little bitch? Punk motherfuckers. And fuck all y'all the fuck up, really. We'll fuck all y'all up today if everybody just go, man, stop. Stop right now. So we can rewrite this shit, so we can redo this shit. Stop this shit right. If we all did that shit, man, they'll lay the fuck down like, what the fuck just happened? They wouldn't even know what to do. We'd disturb all of their gematria news for the day, for the week, for the rest of their fucking sorry ass existence. We'd fuck all that shit up. And this was so crazy, it seems so insurmountable to me. That if we did this here in America by ourselves, it wouldn't be good enough. It needs to be the whole world. Now, how am I in the middle of Iowa getting all of this motherfucking censorship? YouTube won't let me rock. Facebook banned my IP. They won't even let me make a new fucking page for my phone. I got to get a whole new phone and maybe even get away from the tower that I'm at. Who fucking knows? Like, they want me to fuck out of there. All this censorship, man. And they do that, though, because they know that if the world felt the way I did, the Russian people will stand up against the Russian government and go, shut the fuck up. And then they'll do it in Italy. And then they'll do it here in the U.S. In America. Fuck the U.S. It's America. And fuck America. Y'all know where the name came from? Amerigo Vespucci or whatever the fuck this nigga's name is. Named America. Yeah, he's a fucking weirdo. He's not a good guy. He's not a fucking good guy. Come on, man. All of this shit, man, is being conquered and trampled and held in captivity by people who halfway do good with their political shit, and then the other half they back it up with violence to kind of fill in the blanks when all of their rhetoric and bullshit just won't work. And those are the people who reign supreme to guide society where they want it to go. The people who are the best in violence. And they tell you violence ain't the answer. And then when I say yes it is, then you look at me like somehow I fucked up. Fuck out of here. Because if I jumped on your ass, you would use violence to get me off of you. Or you just lay there and fucking bleed to death. Like, who the fuck deserves that? Nobody. You're supposed to fight back. If you don't win that, if you didn't start that fight, you deserve to win. Period. And it doesn't, and that doesn't change because a job that somebody went and got, that they can lose faster than they gain. Get the fuck out of here. Wu Bang, RPM, get a fucking gun and stop letting them trick you with this punk shit. Fuck. Y'all are embarrassing, bro.